So we're going to present our project about how barrier affect on the collision. Here's the member of the group. This is the table of content. We're going to talk the introduction first, then we're going to have a look at the objective, then the methodology, the result analysis, and conclusion.
So approximately 1.3 million people die every year because of the road traffic crashes. So the road traffic safety is becoming more important and getting more attention from the institutions. This awareness relates to the barrier, which plays an important role in increasing road traffic accidents. Thus, we decided to investigate the material that has the most advantages to both humans and the environment. The concentration of this project is the car damage. The car damage will be determined by the collision between a toy car and the various types of barrier, including plastic and truck. Thus, we developed an experiment in which the same car crashes into a barrier in the same way with the same velocity. One of the equipment is the science application Arduino SJ, which utilizes the accelerometer to do the scientific experiment, to estimate the response force, use total acceleration and y-axis acceleration. So each type of truck absorbed force may also be determined.
So next is about the literature reviews. In literature review, we are talking about the trap that we use in this experiment. The first one is about the Euclidean T. This is the medium size to the small size, which has the maximum height around 1 meter to 4 meters.
The second shrub we use is Cape Jasmine. It's a woody shrub with attractive foliage and fragrant, conspicuous flowers, which is able to grow to 0.5 to 2 meter tall.
The last one is Isora, a woody shrub dwarf selection with compact form up to 0.9 meters when grown in the ground.
And our objective of this project is to observe which material is the safest barrier in order to reduce the severity of road traffic accidents by calculating the action force. This report presents a discussion on the optimal choice of the material of the barrier.
And next one is the methodology. The theory that we use is the action force and momentum impulse. So our hypothesis is Isara measuring about 6 centimeters long is the safest barrier compared to UKT, Cape Jasmine, and plastic barrier. So the method, we use Google Scholar to find all of the research articles on acceleration and action force, characteristics of collision, shocks, and plastic barriers, and other information about car crashes into barriers. We created a car crash simulation model that is 18 times smaller and gathered the total acceleration and y-axis acceleration data to create the table comparing each type of shrub and barrier. So first, we study about the characteristics of collision. Next, we collect the barrier materials, which is plastic or the shrub. And the third one is design the experiment, and the fourth one is start the experiment. And the next one, we collect the data from science application about the acceleration and action force, and we repeat the procedure to make sure that the test result is true. And the last one, we collect the data and conclusion. You can see in the left, it is our experimental design. This picture shows the distance between the car and the barrier, the size of the barrier, and the acceleration.
So next is about the data collection. In this slide is about the total accelerations that affect in this experiment. So it represent the action force. So the data you can see in the graph. And the second data collection is about the y-axis acceleration. So in this graph represent about the action force with the reaction force and the effect in the opposite side in this experiment. Okay. So next is about the video for our experiment. Okay, so next is about the result analysis. The first slide about the result analysis. We're gonna talk about the formula that we use in this experiment. The first one is about the sigma f equal to ma. This is the main formula that we use to calculate in this experiment, such as action force and reaction force. And the second theory that we use is about the F delta T equal to mv minus mu. It is the momentum impulse. This is the main theory that we use to calculate the value of force before and after the crash. So the second slide for the analysis of the result. This is the result that we conclude from the data from the sensor in the applications. So in this graph represents about the truck with the car ratio. And the second one of the analysis of the result is represents about the second experiment that about the different strap but in same height. And the third one is about the analysis of result about the same strap but different height. And the last one about the analysis result is about the conclusions of the momentum force that we use the momentum theory to calculate the number and use the medium value to Conclusions about the result of this experiment.
So for the conclusion of our experiment, the data of total acceleration and y-axis acceleration from table 1 and 2 are used to plot figure 1, 2, and 3. These bar charts present the relationship between the acceleration with radial, the acceleration with height, and the acceleration with the same track but in different height, respectively. Because the momentum theory that action force is equal to the reaction force, we use the reaction force or the barrier to the car to calculate the damage that was made on the car. Moreover, the median value of momentum impulse, which was given by the barriers, prove that it is the stiffest barrier. Thank you.